I don't know, I have to ask the bar manager. I say I got a drink, I like a little tequila rose. Yeah, nice. How's everyone doing?
Woo!
Yeah, it's a brilliant night, brilliant acts, and yeah, it's just a privilege to be here again, so thank you. So, I've got a friend, and she consistently suffers from brain fog. Anyone else who suffers from brain fog? Yeah? Can't remember. I didn't even remember what day it was today, did I?
No, it's great.
Oh, it's Thursday? Yeah. Tuesday. Yeah, so this is written from her perspective, and it's called My Brain Has Turned to Dust. I seem to hibernate like a mushroom. I like to conceal beneath the bush, because I feel that I haven't got a brain cell. My cognition is such a mush. Often I get staggered and mistook. My friends try to decipher the matter. Sometimes I feel that I have 2 brain cells. The cells just sit and natter. Don't even bother asking me about last week. I don't even know what day it is. I barely function physically when my brain is in such a fizz. Accomplishing a certain task can correlate in such a riddle. When I try to evaluate a mission, I get myself in such a piddle. If I seem away with the fairies, it may take a little more time to adjust. Life can take its rabbit hold when my brain has turned to dust. Thank you very much. Okay, so as Katie said, it is Mean Girls Day, and it's also National Poetry Day.
Woohoo!
Yeah, hooray! And this week I've been working on a programme with the National Literacy Trust. So I'm visiting various West Yorkshire primary and secondary schools, and learning them and inspiring them to become the next generation poet laureates of their generation. That meant to be the other way around, brain fog. And and I like to pull out a little cover, a little children's poem when I do these visits. And I'm going to recite Please Mrs. Butler by Alan Alberg. It's one of my favourites.
Yes!
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 Yes! And yeah, it's one of my favourites. Alan Alberg's one of the writers that inspired me, so here it is. Please, Mrs. Butler, this boy, Derek Drew, keeps copying my work, miss. What shall I do? Go and sit in the hall, dear. Go and sit in the sink. Take your books on the roof, my lamb. Do whatever you think. Please, Mrs. Butler, this boy, Derek Drew, keeps taking my rubber, miss. What shall I do? Keep it in your hand, dear. Hide it up your vest. Swallow it if you like, my love. Do what you think's best. Please, Mrs. Butler, this boy, Derek Drew, keeps calling me rude names, miss. What shall I do? Lock yourself in the cupboard, dear. Run away to sea. Do whatever you like, my flower, but don't ask me. Thank you very much. Okay, I might do a couple more. So I used to work at the Leeds Playhouse, a really, really good theatre here based in Leeds. And it gave me the opportunity of meeting a lot of characters. And observational life, I am heavily inspired by. Conversations, I'm heavily inspired by. I like to sit in a coffee shop and then overhear conversations. I'll write it down in the journal and then, can you relate? A little nose to pass, yeah? And I like to turn conversations into poetic narratives. And this is a nonsensical verse, and it's about a middle-aged man who is wanting to grow a man bun, but his wife disapproves. Here it is, it's from his perspective. I want to grow a man bun. I want to get with the groove. But the only predicament I have is that my wife doesn't approve. Yes, I'm a middle-aged fella.